and thank you for being here with us on this Sunday morning as we officially open the 2025 season here at Magic Elm for our Black Rose Juniors. This is our Black Rose Juniors taking on from New England, your New England Junior Roller Derby Riptide Riots. This is a level 3 JRDA game. Of course, our teams competed yesterday for some level 2 action, but we are ready now for a level 3 game. So let's go ahead and get our teams introduced this morning. Our visiting team, once again, from New England. This is your New England Junior Roller Derby Riptide Riots. Wearing the blue uniforms this morning. We've got number 100, Just Kai. Number 314, M-Bomber. We're number 34, the Wolverine. Number 4, Eliza Beaton Tragedy. Wearing number 5, Mads. Number 50, Goldie Blocks. Number 5641, Land Shark. Wearing number 6, Fight Tiger. Number 7, Toxic Drops. Wearing number 7734, Slayla. We've got number 777, Moxie. Number 88, Crazy Banana. Wearing number 9, Rolling Rainbow. Number 911, Wildfire. And the captain this morning of Riptide Riots, number 18, Dubs. Give that Hanover snack capital of the world warm welcome to our visiting team coming to us all the way from Massachusetts. This is your Riptide Riots. And of course, opening up the season this morning here in Hanover, it is your home team. Give it up for the team with the white jerseys. It is your Black Rose Juniors, Black Rose Rebellion. Skating this morning for the Rebellion, number 08, Death Ray. Wearing number 110, Sunny. Number 12, Booberry. Number 18, T-Bone. Wearing number 2026, Twig. We've got number 21, Bloody Mary. Number 238, Swiss Rolls. Wearing number 253, Anchovy. We've got number 30, Wreck-It. Wearing number 32, Beans. Number 333, Farrah Fawcett. Number 57, Flying Fish. Wearing number 64, Jack Skatington. With number 66, Crow. And number 825, Little Legs. That is our home team, your Black Rose Rebellion Junior Roller Derby. We are live streaming our game, so for those joining us on the live feed, we thank you for spending a Sunday morning with us. I'm going to assume that we have quite a number of watchers from Massachusetts. And before we start the game, we would officially like to dedicate this game to number 111, Terabyte from the New England Junior Roller Derby. In Terabyte's memory, this game is 100% for you. And with that said, we are getting ready. Sounds like New England brought quite the fan base with them this morning. Waking up quite early to be here in Hanover. Coming on the jammer line for the first game of the game for Black Rose, number 110, Sunny. And jamming for New England, this is number 5. This is Mads on the jammer line. There's a penalty whistle being blown, and Mads picking up the first lead of the game from New England. Right off that jammer whistle, Sunny taking well, she's in trouble. We're going to use her full name. Sunset Scar seated in the box, and she is going to be serving. Oh, I got a side eye there. Mads out on the power jam. She's got the first 4 points of the game. Now Mads on a New England power jam, taken out of bounds by Blueberry right at the turn. This is still a power jam for Mads. Mads in full control of the jam currently. Mads taken out of bounds and calls off the jam with Sunny having a stand in the box. And that call-off is going to free Sunny in the box for another New England power start. This is going to be number 4, Elizabethan Tragedy on that jammer line. That whistle starts the action. Elizabethan Tragedy getting some defense. Nice defense on the inside by Swiss Rolls, forcing Elizabethan Tragedy to restart this pass. Now Sunny is released, finding some speed through the pack. She breaks out, and Sunny is our lead jammer. Starting the jam in the box now, picking up lead. Sunny is in on her first scoring trip through. She makes her way to the top of the pack. Jammer referee D holding up 4 points for Sunny. Now Sunny coming in on her second scoring trip. Sunny taking out of bounds. Forced to recycle this at the back of the pack now. She is taken out of bounds once again. New England working some nice defense at the bottom of the pack. Sunny finally getting past Layla and gets through. She's got another 4 points to her name. Meanwhile, some strong defense in the pack as New England passes their jammer star. Sunny in trouble again. She is going to have a seat in the box. After putting 8 points on the board for Black Rose now, this is 0-9. I believe this is Rolling Rainbow receiving that star pass for New England. So now our game in our second jam going to a tie with a star pass for New England going to Rolling Rainbow. Currently on a power jam. No chance to call off the jam. There is no longer a lead jammer. So Sunny in the box. There is a track cut. So we're doing a jammer swap now. Rolling Rainbow having a seat in the box, and we time out at the 2-minute mark. Timeout called by our officials just to take care of a few details. Make sure you join us in York at the Ballyhoo Sports Academy March 1st. Our Black Rose Rage will be taking, that's our level 3 B team. We'll be taking on our friends, the Philly Brawl Stars. That's Philly's B team. And speaking of the Brawl Stars, if I want to give a shout out to my friend Squid, if Squid is on the live feed. Thank you for joining us. Still in this timeout here by our officials now. If you are really into following Black Rose, we will be in Pittsburgh March 22nd to 23rd. That is the Roll Into Spring tournament held by the Pittsburgh Derby Brats. Later on this season in April, they will be our Rebellion skaters will be traveling to Battle of Bunker Hill. Now that will be in Dover, New Hampshire, and I'm pretty sure that I have been to that venue. If that's the venue I'm thinking of, it is a really nice place. Okay, coming off of this official timeout, coming out on a power start for Black Rose, this is number 30, Wreck-It. Rolling Rainbow receiving that penalty, a track cut late in the last jam, so it's going to be a fresh penalty. Wreck-It taking on a bounds. Nice defense by New England on the outside, but Wreck-It is out. Black Rose now 2 for 2 in lead jammers. Wreck-It now on a scoring trip. Wreck-It with a very quick 4 points. D-Rex holding up all 4 fingers for Wreck-It now. Blueberry Brace in the top of that pack. Wreck-It taken out of bounds by the New England pivot. Rolling Rainbow coming back in from that penalty. Black Rose walling up. Blueberry bracing that tripod, getting joined by Beans, putting a stop on Rolling Rainbow. Wreck-It tries to bounce on his toe stops on the line, but ultimately goes out of bounds and is being brought to the back now. Beans overseeing that tripod, just keeping Rolling Rainbow stuck on this initial pass. Toxic drops working some defense. Wreck-It comes out now with another 4 points. Wreck-It now on a 12-point run for Black Rose, and he calls off the jam. This is going to be, I believe, a scoreless jam for New England. Score now, Black Rose 22, New England 13. Going some 5-on-5 derby action with our penalty box clear. 2-5-3, and Stovey with the jammer star for Black Rose, and 34. This is the Wolverine jamming for New England. The Wolverine is out and is our lead jammer. Wolverine on a scoring pass, and Stovey taking on a bounds. I believe that was some nice jammer-on-jammer defense there, taking Stovey out. Wolverine attacking the bottom of the pack now. Looks like Farrah Forsyth and Bloody Mary walling up in a 2-wall, trying to keep the Wolverine stuck. Wolverine gets past Farrah Forsyth. And Stovey passing that jammer star now over to number 08, Death Ray. So Wolverine with 4 points on the board for New England. Now Wolverine coming in on a scoring pass. Death Ray making her way to the top of the pack, but gets some one-on-one block in there. That is by Elizabethan Tragedy. Nice hustle by those New England blockers as Death Ray comes out and puts 4 points on the board. .20 run there by New England brings them up to 20. 4-point jam. 4 points there scored by Death Ray, bringing Black Rose to 26. Out to jam for the first time for New England, for Black Rose. This is 2026 Twig. Twig out there taking on number 5. This is Mads. And Twig makes her way to the top of the pack. Alternating lead back and forth for our teams now. Twig is in control. Booberry having a seat in the boo box now. She's, wow. If looks could kill, I'd be keeled over dead right now. I think I just got turned to stone. I got to put up a shield so Booberry can't do that to me again. I'm telling your mom. Someday the tables will be turned. I'll be out there on the track and Blueberry can go and troll me all she wants on the mic. Nice run there. That jam called off. We're moving into an official timeout. Looks like that's going to be scoreless for both of our teams. Timeout called by our officials just for a matter of safety. Meanwhile, we got Kryptonite and EV Kraken Queen working hard to make sure that track is laid down. Looks like this next jam will move into a power start, and the advantage for Black Rose there with Sunny out. Looks like there may have been a jammer penalty called late in the last jam on New England's jammer. Nine-point game, Black Rose 29, Riptide Riots 30. Big thank you to our sponsors here. We've got Bendix Cares, always a loyal supporter of the Black Rose Juniors, G&G Automotive, and Mummert's Automotive. Rolling whistle brings us to the end of that time out. Going into this jam, this is a power start. Going to number 110, Sunny. And that whistle starts the action. 3-4 pack in favor of Black Rose. New England currently down a jammer and a blocker. 2 whistles mean Sunny is lead. Back-to-back leads now for Black Rose. Sunny comes in the pack, tries to find a hole there on the outside, and she is through with a hop, a skip, and a jump, and she's got 4 points. Sunny now working on her second scoring trip. Gets some blocking with a New England pivot. Gets another hip check, but Sunny stays up on her skate. She's got another 4 points, and she calls off the jam. Nice 8-point run there by Sunny. New England unable to score. Back to some 5-on-5 derby. Our penalty box is clear. Wreck-It out there versus number 34 from New England. This is the Wolverine. Right off the whistle, the Wolverine taken to the back and recycled. Crow and Beans working in that defense. Wreck-It also taken a bounce. Nice defense there by number 18 from New England. Working that. That is Dubs, the captain. Bull Jammers meeting some defense there. Just Kai working that defense on Wreck-It. T-Bone coming in, trying to clear out a hole for Wreck-It, but Wreck-It just barely goes out of bounds, taking the safe route there and recycling to the back. We do not have a lead jammer yet. T-Bone once again with some offense, trying to help out teammate Wreck-It, but Wreck-It taken out. A little bit of a tumble there by the Wolverine. Wreck-It called off on a low blocking penalty. So no chance for lead for Black Rose. We do currently not have lead, but there it is. Lead jammer going to the Wolverine. Beans and Blueberry with some blocking there on Wolverine, but Wolverine is through with 4 points. This is still a New England power jam. And that jam called off. That's going to freeze Wreck-It in the box. 4-0 there in favor of New England. Now it's a power start in the hands of New England. Number 5641 Landshark with the jammer star. Wreck-It finishes his time in the box, comes back in, makes his way to the top of the pack, but is taken out. Death Ray with a block on Landshark. Looking at some pretty matched up defense by both teams. Bloody Mary and Death Ray closing in that tripod, putting a block on Landshark, but Landshark is out with lead jammer. Now Landshark in, goes for an apex jump, but Death Ray taking Landshark out of bounds, forcing Landshark to restart this scoring pass. Wreck-It taken out, still on, still stuck. Seeing some nice offense by T-Bone. T-Bone in there trying to clear out a hole for his jammer, but Wreck-It is taken out on the apex. Landshark still lead, takes a spill on the track. Bloody Mary bracing a tripod. Farrah force it walling up there in the back of that tripod, trying to keep a block on Landshark. Landshark is down. A little bit of a trip there. Everyone gets back up on their skates. Nice toe-stop awareness by Wreck-It, staying in bounds on the line. Now Just Kai with some one-on-one defense against Wreck-It. And it's effective because Wreck-It taking on a bounce to the inside, and Landshark out with 4 points. That jam, a fight by both teams. All said and done, that's going to be a 4-4. (28-41). Black Rose in the lead. About 15 minutes left to our first half of the game. Black Rose Junior Roller Derby has the privilege of being able to host the 2025 JRDA Regional Playoffs right here in the area. We'll be having that June 21st and 22nd at the Ballyhoo Sports Complex in New York. We'll be hosting 5 teams from the JRDA Northeastern region, including 2 who are here today. Of course, we're going to have New England competing in there. We're going to have Philly in there. Crooked River coming to us from Ohio, Mars from Hagerstown, Maryland, and of course our home team, Black Rose Juniors, will be competing June 21st and 22nd right here in nearby York at the Ballyhoo Sports Arena. That is the 2025 JRDA Regional Playoffs. Mark your calendars for that. That will be a fun 2 days of Junior Derby. That whistle bringing us out of that timeout by our officials. Black Rose with the pack advantage. New England down on blocker. We have number 825 Little Legs out there versus 09. This is Rolling Rainbow. And we're off that whistle. Toxic drops, taking a hip check on Little Legs. Little Legs goes to the floor, but she gets back up on her skates now. She's making her way to the top of the pack. New England with 2 blockers against Little Legs. Little Legs, though, just barely makes it through. Goes out of bounds now, is recycling. Now Little Legs back up, taking on, and she is out. Little Legs is our lead jammer. Just Kai re-enters the game. So both teams now at full strength. Little Legs on her first scoring trip is taken out to the outside. Just Kai with the rollback on Legs. And Little Legs making her way through the top of the pack, and she's out with 4 points. Little Legs on her second scoring trip. She is up, working to the top of the pack. Dubs with some defense there on Legs. Looks like Legs being brought back to the back of the pack. New England losing a blocker. Just Kai to the penalty box. That's going to thin things out here a little bit for Little Legs. Little Legs, though, once again being brought to the back. Crow working some defense, recycling to the top, working a wall against Rolling Rainbow. After a hard fight, Little Legs is out with another 4 points. Fight Tiger receiving that star pass for New England. Legs coming in. Jovi trying to make a hole there for Little Legs. Nice offense by Jovi, clearing out the hole. Legs is out with another 4, and that jam is over. Starting our next jam, 2026 Twig taking on Mads from New England. Our penalty box is clear. Both teams at full strength. Twig making her way through the pack up the middle, and she is our lead jammer. Twig getting some love from Blueberry, who's on her second trip to the box now, coming out. Twig in for some points for Black Rose. She's in. She gets through. She's got 4, and she calls off the jam before Mads can complete a full scoring pass. So Mads going to pick up 1 point after that. Twig with 4. Palindrome score now 35-53. Black Rose with the lead. About 12 minutes to our first half of the game. It's some 5-on-5 derby action. Sunny taking on number 4, Elizabeth beating Tragedy. And Sunny gets the hip check halfway through that pack. It's taken down. It's going to be an incomplete initial pass for Sunny. So Sunny will not be a lead jammer. Lead is open for Elizabeth beating Tragedy. Well, no longer a lead jammer because Elizabeth did take that star off the helmet. So we are going to have a 2-minute jam now with no lead jammer. Both jammers eligible to score some points. Sunny now looking at 4 points now, working on a second scoring trip. Bloody Mary bracing a tripod at the bottom of the pack against Elizabeth and Tragedy, getting a block from Beans. Now Ange Jovi working some defense to the inside. Neither jammer can call off this action, and a low block called on Sunny. Sunny in the box. Three points picked up by Elizabeth and Tragedy. on that scoring pass. Sonny being released just as Crow goes for a seat in the box. Elizabethan Tragedy rolled to the back by Bean. Sonny coming back in from that earlier low block, and she's out with another 4 points. So Sonny on a 12-point run. Oh, Sonny comes in full speed ahead, but is knocked out of bounds to the outside, and we time out at 2 minutes. 12-point jam there by Sonny. 7 points by Elizabethan Tragedy. And we are now going for a team timeout called by Black Rose. We'd like to thank Conewago Enterprises for their sponsorship this season, as well as Susquehanna Environmental. We're going to take a brief break here. Looks like Kryptonite and EV Kraken Queen back on the track there with that yellow tape, making sure it is down and secure. We've got just under 10 minutes left to our first half of the game. Riptide Riots from New England 42, Black Rose 67. That team timeout coming to an expiration, so we're at 34 on the general line. This is the Wolverine taking on Wreck-It. New England with the pack advantage. Black Rose has a blocker in the box. Wreck-It finds a hole on the outside, and he is through with the Black Rose lead. Death Ray and Blueberry working some nice strong defense there, held up by T-Bone. Now Crow rejoins that pack, goes for a tripod with a catch, keeping 34. This is the Wolverine stuck. Now Wreck-It already got 4 points for Black Rose. Death Ray taking the Wolverine out of bounds to the inside. Now Crow joining in that defense against the Wolverine. Wreck-It out with another 4. And the Wolverine with that star pass over to Mads. All right, 8-0 jam going up for Black Rose, 75. Riptide Riots now 42. Elizabethan Tragedy back out there taking on number 825, Little Legs. Lead now back in the hands of New England. Elizabethan Tragedy is our lead jammer. Looks like Just Guy with some defense against Little Legs. Now Little Legs taken on the bounds and brought to the bottom of the pack. Meanwhile, Swiss Rolls working some defense against Elizabethan Tragedy, forcing Elizabethan to restart this pass. Little Legs is out. And Elizabethan Tragedy gets through the pack and calls off the jam. So 4-0 in favor of the Riptide Riots. And that is a scoreless jam for Black Rose. Twig with a little bit of a jammer line dance there as we go into our next jam. Mads out there taking on Twig. Doing an old-fashioned pivot line start, and it is some 5-on-5 derby. Just Kai blocking the inside, keeping Twig stuck in the back. Now Twig trying to find a weak spot through that New England defensive wall. Twig making her way to the top of the pack, but still has some 2-on-1 blocking by New England if she wants to get lead jammer. Mads taken out by Booberry. Twig makes her way to the top of the pack, but is given a not lead hand signal, so there might have been an incomplete pass there. Either way, lead jammer going to number 5, Mads for New England. Looks like all said and done, that jam was called off and is going to be scoreless for both teams. Sunny take on Landshark in our next jam. Landshark getting stuck at the bottom of the pack by Black Rose's defense, held up by Beans. Sunny is out with lead jammer. Sunny and I have an agreement that if she reaches 30 points in a jam, we're going to call it a Sunny Delight. But she is out, and now she is called off on a track cut. So the chance of a power jam now lies in the hands of Landshark from New England. Black Rose working a solid defense at the bottom of the pack, keeping Landshark frozen in place. And Crow with a block on Landshark, taking Landshark fully out of bounds, now forcing the recycle. Sunny freed from the box, and she is back in the play. Pushing her way through. Not lead jammer, but does have 4 points. Nice recovery by Sunny now with an 8-point run. We cannot call off the jam. Now Sunny on her third trip, crashing in that New England defense. There's a star pass on New England over to the Wolverine. Sunny makes her way past Landshark now, puts up another 4, making this a 12-point run. And 4 whistles ends the jam. So far, it seems like the highest scoring jam by anybody is 12 points on either side. So both teams with a very good offense, but an even better defense, and that makes all the difference in the world when you can shut down those jammers from going completely rogue on the track. Riptide Riots does have 1 more point at the end of that jam. Now they're at 47, Black Rose 87. Wreck it back out there with lead jammer for Black Rose, taking on number 4, Elizabethan Tragedy. Now Elizabethan Tragedy is out. Wreckage in for some points. Making his way up the pack, tries to get through the tripod in the middle, but ends up going out of bounds and is going to recycle to the back. Wreck-It calls off the jam. Sacrificing this jam. Let's see what we got. That's going to be 2-0 there going up in favor of New England. Okay, no, there were 4 points going up for Black Rose, so they're at 91, New England 49. Five-on-5 derby action. Slayla with a block, taking little legs out of bounds to the outside and rolling legs to the back. Number 5, Mads, out the jam for the Riptide Riots. Legs called off on a penalty, losing lead jammer ability. So, chance of a power jam in the hands of Mads, who is taken out. That looks like that is 08 Death Ray with that defense, taking Mads out of bounds. I think Mads getting blocked by like Death Ray, perhaps getting blocked by their own teammate. And Mads completing an initial pass, and his lead jammer, just as legs, times out in the box. Comes into the track, full speed ahead, gets taken down and takes a fall. Mads comes down the bound to the inside. Black Rose holding a solid defense on the outside line against Mads. Mads forced out of bounds. Just Kai with a block there on Little Legs. Little Legs just about stays in, but ultimately slides out on her toe stop. She's going to have to recycle. Certainly seeing a lot of strong blocking by number 100, Just Kai. A lot of blocking against our Black Rose's jammers. Crow bracing a tripod against Mads. Slayla now getting in some blocking against Little Legs. Black Rose has 2 skaters taking a spill. And Beans receiving a jammer star just as that jam is called off. So it looks like Mads has come out of there with 3 points. And Black Rose remains scoreless in that jam. They're at 91, New England 52. Gonna have time to squeeze one more jam out of our first half of the game, and that's gonna be number 2026 Twig taking on Elizabethan Tragedy. 2 whistles means Twig is our lead jammer. And Twig coming up, powering her way through that New England defense, is out with the first 4 points. Now Twig winding up for a second scoring trip. And she is out with 4. Nice hustle by Blueberry, taking Elizabethan Tragedy out of bounds to the inside. Then Black Rose reforms her defense at the top of the pack, swarming Elizabethan Tragedy, who is taken on a bounce to the inside and rolled back by T-Bone. Twig now facing a 3-wall turned into a tripod of Riptide Riot's blockers. Twig avoiding that block by the Wolverine, stays in bounds, out with another 4, making this a 12-point run for Black Rose, bringing Black Rose over the 100-point mark. And that brings us into halftime with a score: Black Rose 103, New England 52. We're going to take a 15-minute break. Our concession stand is open. We have our merch tables from both teams over at the far side of the rink over there. As you're looking at it, it's over to the left. And give us about 15 minutes. We will come back to you with more Derby action. our second half of the game. Look at that toe stop work by Sonny. I wish I could toe stop that nicely. That rolling whistle brings us now out of halftime, going into the second half of our game. For those on the live feed, Riptide Riots 52, Black Rose 103. It's a 4-3 pack. Major look. Sonny's thinking ahead. She yields position, so she's going to go ahead and take that. She's taken on a bounce and forced to the back. And New England picking up lead. Mads in control. Just Kai working some defense. Now, we've seen Just Kai prove to be a jammer's nightmare for Black Rose. A very powerful jammer for New England. And Sonny breaks out of the pack now. We are back to some 5-on-5 derby, and 4 whistles ends the jam. Mads calling it off. Going into a timeout here by our officials. Once again, our next game, home game here for Black Rose Juniors, will be at the Ballyhoo Sports Academy in York. That is our Black Rose Rage. That is our level 3B team taking on the Philly Brawl Stars. That is Philly's B team juniors. That's again March 1st. So I guess that's next weekend. I'm still stuck in January apparently. Ballyhoo Sports Academy in York, PA. March 22nd, 23, and 23rd, Rebellion will be heading out to Pittsburgh for the Roll into Spring tournament, hosted by the Pittsburgh Derby Brats, March 22nd, 23rd. Then in April, Black Rose is headed up to Battle of Bunker Hill. That will be in Dover, New Hampshire. We are okay. I'm guessing we're going to see our friends from New England up there as well for that same weekend. Okay, I'm getting a nod. I'm getting a nod by Elizabethan Tragedy, so there will be a lot of Junior Derby happening there. May 18th, right here at Magic Elm Skateland, we will have our friends from the Philly Brawl Stars playing the Rebellion, and we get the privilege of hosting JRDA regional playoffs right here in York at Ballyhoo Sports Academy. 5 JRDA Northeastern regional teams will be here competing. Back to our game. Number 30, Wreck-It out there taking on from New England. This is number 4, Elizabethan Tragedy. 5-on-5 action. Our penalty box is clear. And Wreck-It gets to the top of the pack, and he is out with a Black Rose lead. Now New England losing a blocker to a clockwise blocking penalty. That's going to thin things out a little bit for Wreck-It. Wreck-It gets to the top of the pack, takes a bit of a spill, gets back up on his skates, and is out with 4 points. So Black Rose breaking the century mark late in the jam, just as we went into halftime. So far, the highest, we have not gone above 12 points for either team, any jammer. We have some jammers who we know can easily do 24, 28 points, but we're seeing some very good defense here on both sides. Defense in Derby, a overlooked but a very important part of the sport to keep those jammers from running away with points. So now we got number 825 Little Legs out there taking on number 34. This is the Wolverine. 3-4 pack. Black Rose with the pack advantage. Little Legs gets to the inside, and Legs is out with a Black Rose lead. Slayer released from the box, bringing us to some 5-on-5 derby action. Legs is out with 4 points. The Wolverine currently stuck behind Black Rose's defense, coming around the apex, and Booberry is working a rollback. Legs finishing her second round of points, making this an 8-point jam for Black Rose. working a stop pack there on the apex. New England with a 3-wall defense at the top of the pack, putting a block on little legs with some beautiful awareness, keeps those wheels in bounds and puts up another 4 points. Now legs with the chance of being the highest scoring jammer so far in the game goes out, but as she is taken out of bounds. That is the Captain Dubs with that defense on legs. Legs recycled to the back of the pack. One-on-one blocking there by Dubs. And legs is out. Highest scoring jammer of the game so far with 16 points. High five there by Mads and Twig. And still with some 5-on-5 derby. That whistle starts the action. Mads versus Twig, and a very strong pack to accommodate both of those jammers. Twig tries to charge the pack right up the middle. And Mads gets out ahead of Twig. New England picking up lead now. Mads is in control. Mads is in, goes out of bounds, signals the call off before Twig can score any points. So let's see what we got for our referees here. Looks like Twig is going to be scoreless there. Like that jam may be a sacrifice. Looks like there's going to be no points on either side of the scoreboard. No, 2 points here rolling in for Mads, so 2-0 in favor of the New England Riptide Riots. Now Elizabethan Tragedy back out there high-fiving Sunny. I'm getting a wave there by Elizabethan Tragedy, and Sunny, when she's in trouble, we call her by her full name, Sunset Scar. Look at that. Sunny with a toe stop, sidestepping there on the inside. That gets her lead jammer. Elizabethan Tragedy is stuck. 32 Beans and 238 Swiss rolls with that defense on Elizabethan Tragedy. Sunny out with 4 points. I have been told that when Sunny gets to the 20-point mark, we're going to call that a sunburn. 32 points, and it's going to be a Sunny Delight. So let's see what she's got. I looked for Sunny Delight this morning in 2 stores and could not find any. And Sunny completing a fourth, another round of points, making this a 3rd trip complete. Now Sunny coming in, making her way to the top of that pack, but meeting New England's defense. Layla bracing that tripod, taking Sunny down. Now Toxic Drop stepping in. Really, Boo? Really? Booberry once again in the Boo box. That's a Hook reference for those who, like me, who are old. I'm getting another side eye from Booberry. Hook, of course, as you know, came out in 1992, which makes most of us old. All right, jammer on jammer, Sunny and Elizabethan Tragedy. Sunny out with another 4, and like we said, 20 points makes this a sunburn. Jam called off by our officials just for a matter of safety, making sure that our skaters can get the space that they need to get back up. Of course, big thank you to our medics today, Toxic Sugar and Jed Zeppelin, making sure our skaters have the best care possible. Our best spectators of all time. Of course, we'd rather them be spectators. We'd rather have them here and not need them than need them and not have them. We have Mads back out there on the jammer line taking on number 30, Wreck-It. 3-4 pack in favor of New England. And nice coordinated four-wall taking Wreck-It out of bounds to the outside, but Wreck-It makes his way through that wall. New England recycles their defense to the top of the pack, but stumbles just in the nick of time. Mads gets ahead of Wreck-It and picks up lead. Wreck-It is going to be called off on a penalty, so this is a power jam in the hands of the Riptide Riots. Just Kai with a collision there. Jack Skatington going with some defense against Mads. And 4 whistles ends the jam, freezing number 30, Wreck-It, in the box for one more jam start. 2-0 in favor of Riptide Riots. They're at 59. Black Rose 147. And taking this power start, this is number 34 from New England. This is the Wolverine. That whistle starts our power jam start. The Wolverine taken out of bounds and brought to the back by Booberry. Booberry doesn't draw a cut, but that is an incomplete initial pass, so the Wolverine not getting lead jammer out of that. Lead jammer is open for Wreck-It, but Wreck-It getting that defense by Just Kai. We've been seeing Just Kai with some very good defense in the game, just taking those jammers out of bounds, hit after hit. Now, Wreck-It getting stuck behind that Riptide Riots tripod at the bottom of the pack. Unable to get through now, taken out of bounds once again. Meanwhile, at the top of the pack, Black Rose running a strong defense against the Wolverine, who was recycled to the back by Ants Jovi. Ants Jovi trying to put a stop on the Wolverine. Wolverine stuck in the back by number 12, Booberry working the butt position of that tripod. I believe that's Farrah Fawcett bracing that tripod. Wreck-It is out with lead for Black Rose. And an apex jump there attempted by Wreck-It. Wreck-It is going to take the safe route and recycle to the back. Farrah Fawcett once again gets on that tripod, trying to slow down the Wolverine. If you get one more penalty, I will stop this car and turn it around. Booberry taking her seat there in the box. Wreck-It's out with 4 points. Black Rose is currently down a blocker. T-Bone taken down. Now Farrah Fawcett with some one-on-one defense against the Wolverine. Farrah getting joined by Jovi. The Wreck-It now looking at 4 points for Black Rose and is taken out of bounds at the top of the pack of the apex there by Toxic Drops. All said and done, nice defense by both teams. It's 6-0 there in favor of Black Rose. Just under 20 minutes to go. Hey, we are still doing those raffle tickets over at the Black Rose merch table. We will be pulling those raffles here at the end of the game. But back to our game. Little Legs out there taking on 5-6-4-1 from New England. This is Landshark. Little Legs breaking out with a Black Rose lead now. She is in control. New England with a 4-wall, the bottom of the pack, putting a slowdown on Little Legs. Our pack reforms. Little Legs making her way past all 4 Riptide Riot's blockers, and that gives her 4 points for Black Rose. Just Kai stepping in, taking Little Legs out of bounds to the inside. Little Legs finds some momentum, gets through on the inside line. That gets her another 4 points. So Little Legs now with an 8-point run. Landshark breaks out, and Little Legs calls off the jam. Landshark does pick up 4 points for New England. Legs with an 8-point run. 67 now, 161. Black Rose in the lead. Both teams at full strength, 5-on-5. EV, Kraken, Queen, and Kryptonite still working to get that track laid down. Going into a timeout here by our officials, while EV, Kraken, Queen, and Kryptonite still making sure that track has all the tape down that they need. Once again, join us next Saturday, March 1st. Our Black Rose Raid is our newly formed Level 3 B team. Will be at the Ballyhoo Sports Academy in York, playing our friends from the Phillies B team. That is the Philly Brawl Stars. Now, last Sunday, Black Rose and Philly played at Philly Fest at the Northeast Racket Club in Philadelphia, and Black Rose's A team took the victory over the Brawl Stars. So to have our B team play the Brawl Stars will be a good game. That will be a doubleheader along with our Black Rose adults. Our next home game will be May 18th right here at Magic Elm. That will be the Rebellion once again taking on the Philly Brawl Stars. Legs now on an 8-point run. Well, we'll wait for the officials to confirm that. Now Legs taking some blocking by New England's defense in that pack. Jam called off for a matter of safety. Just to give our skaters some breathing room to get back up on their skates and get back to their benches. So we're going to be going into a next jam. Here's Mads out there taking on Sunny.
rolling, also bringing us out of that injury timeout now into our next jam. 5-on-5 action. Both teams with full strength. Well, we've been seeing a lot of defense here on both sides, certainly affecting the outcome of the game and the points that are scored. Right off the whistle, Sonny crashing into New England's defense. Mads now getting some blocking by Swiss Rolls and Jack Skatington. No lead jammer as of yet. Sonny trying to make her way to the top of the pack, but New England shuts her down, bringing Sonny to the back behind Just Kai. Sonny gets back in. And after a hard-fought scoring pass, Sonny is out with a Black Rose lead. Now Sonny in for some points. Just Kai going into a tripod now, going in there to bridge the pack. Sonny is out with 4 points. Looks like Mads taken out of bounds and forced to recycle behind Black Rose's defense. Booberry and Death Ray, and I believe that's Swiss Rolls. No, that might be Jack Skatington working that defense against Mads. Now Goldie Blocks bracing a tripod, trying to hold back. Sonny is out. Sonny called off on a track cut. So looking at a 2-minute jam now with no lead jammer. Okay, so that forearm penalty by Mads is going to go and release Sonny back to the pack. It's going to be a 2-minute jam with no lead jammer. And that jam is over at 2 minutes. Looks like our live feed may be back up and working. 8:48 left to our game. 81-192, Black Rose in the lead. Coming out on the power start now for Black Rose. This is 2026 Twig. Looks like New England has their jammer in the box for 2 back-to-back penalties. Black Rose losing Crow to the box. Twig still on her initial pass. Twig makes her way to the top of the pack, but is taken out of bounds by New England's defense. Twig gets in there, recycles. It's going to be an incomplete initial pass. So the chance for lead jammer now in the hands of New England with Mads finishing time in the box and coming back in. Mads is in full speed ahead. Beautiful toe stop work by Mads. Steps on that line and gets out with lead jammer. Mads with a quick run of those 4 points calls off the action. All said and done there, 4-4. Now under 8 minutes left to our game. Elizabethan Tragedy out there to take on Wreck-It. I had the pleasure of seeing New England Junior Derby play about 2 years ago in New Hampshire. Very fun team to be around. They do host a good tournament. Wreck-It is out, picks up speed right off that whistle, and he is lead jammer. New England losing Just Kai to the penalty box. Now Black Rose breaking the 200-point mark with Wreck-It still in control. Black Rose with the pack advantage now as Wreck-It goes in for another scoring trip. New England down a blocker, but still putting a fight against Wreck-It. Slayla taking Wreck-It, I believe, out of bounds. No, Wreck-It stays in and has another 4 points. Farrah Fawcett spreading that defense, that Black Rose defense up at the top of the pack. Now of taking on that momentum by Elizabethan Tragedy, who is taken on a bounds and forced to restart this pass behind Booberry. Rekka coming out with another 4 points. Farrah Fawcett getting in the way of Elizabethan Tragedy, now getting joined by Beans and Death Ray. Black Rose reforms their defense, but Elizabethan Tragedy is out, passing 2 Black Rose blockers. Rekka getting taken down to the inside, calls off the jam. Now New England calling for a team timeout. Looks like that's going to be a 14-0 jam in favor of Black Rose. Black Rose now at 210. Riptide Riots 85. Once again, we have Kryptonite and EV Kraken Queen down, making sure the track is laid down and safe. So big shout out to Kryptonite and EV. We have the karaoke section over here by the Riptide Riots, singing along with all the action here. Little Legs back out there taking on number 5 Mads from New England. And I believe each time Legs has been out, she has gotten lead for Black Rose with some good jams. So Legs now picking up lead. New England with a 2-wall, putting a stop on Legs. Legs goes in on a scoring pass, calls off the action. So I think that's going to keep us at a simple 1-0, and that jam is over. So we're going to have coming out the jam for the first time today for Black Rose. This is 57 Flying Fish. Fish out there versus Elizabethan Tragedy. And that whistle starts the jam. Flying Fish versus Elizabethan Tragedy. Fish getting in, getting stuck behind that wall of New England blockers. Elizabethan Tragedy gets ahead of Fish and picks up lead from Black Rose. But we are all but jammer on jammer right now. Elizabethan Tragedy crashing in that Black Rose defense. Flying Fish sails through on the line, stays in bounds, and has 4 points. Elizabethan Tragedy gets low, avoids that block by Beans. Tragedy calls off the jam, has 4 points. Flying Fish does have 8 points against Elizabethan Tragedy's 4, so that jam still in Black Rose's favor. Twig out now, taking on Mads. 3-4 pack in favor of Black Rose. And Twig makes her way through. Twig picking up lead. So back-to-back leads here for Black Rose. Now Black Rose losing. This is Farrah Fawcett, her first time in the box today. Just Kai putting a block on Twig. Twig rolling with that block. Keeps her skates in bounds, and she's got 4 points. There's a track cut hand signal called by Zoe. That's going to put that's going to put Mads in the box. So it's a power jam now in the hands of Twig. Twig taken down to the outside. And Strovi coming in, putting a block on New England's pivot. That is Dubs. Dubs with the block on Twig. Now Twig coming in, taking on a 2-wall of New England blockers. And it's effective. Just Kai once again proving to be the nemesis of every Black Rose jammer. Taking Twig out of bounds to the inside. Just making sure Twig gets a moment there to get some space, get back up on her skates. Now Twig is a trooper. I think she's going to be okay. Minute 50 left to our game. We're going to have Wreck-It taking on Elizabethan Tragedy. You know, we haven't seen Blueberry Jam yet today. Oh, no. There's a death stare again from Blueberry. I shouldn't have said that. You can see Blueberry getting ready to run the brace of that tripod along with T-Bone and Swiss Rolls, getting ready for the jam to start. You can't shush the announcer. It doesn't work that way, Swiss. No more shout-outs for you. Okay, she wins. She played me at my own game. Three to 4 pack here going to Black Rose. Minute 50 left to our game. May or may not be the last jam, but either way, we are braced to start. That is Wreck-It versus Elizabethan Tragedy. Black Rose maintaining their defense, absorbing all that force by Tragedy. Wreck-It is out with the Black Rose lead. Elizabethan Tragedy gets past Beans and is out. New England losing their pivot. This is Landshark, 2 penalty. So that's going to be one less blocker for Wreck-It to contend with. Wreck-It taken out of bounds. Nice block there by Dubs. Captain with that defense. Elizabethan Tragedy now getting a run with 4 points. Oh, Just Kai going in, makes his way to the top of the pack. Tries to put a block on Wreck-It, but Wreck-It rolls with that and gets another 4. Apex jump there by Wreck-It and is successful because he's got 4 points. Now Wreck-It goes for the call-off. Legs coming back out. 825 Little Legs taking on number 5 from New England. This is Mads. Legs does get some defense coming off that whistle, but stays in bounds with some beautiful toe stop awareness. And Little Legs is our lead jammer. Now she's coming in for some points. Just Kai with a block on Legs, forcing Legs out of bounds to the outside. Mads with a jammer rollback, baiting a track cut, and it's effective because Legs is going to be called off on that penalty and have an all expenses paid trip to the penalty box. And she's got no shame in her eyes whatsoever. So Mads on a power jam. Oh, Farah forced it, trying to bait that track cut on Mads. Mads with some good awareness, gets back in, recycles behind Farah. Now Mads is out. Lead jammer going to Mads for Riptide Riot. Mads picks up some speed, making the way through the pack with 4 points. Nice way to finish the game on a power jam here for the Riptide Riots. Our period clock has expired. Mads now on another run. Calls off the jam. And that brings us to the end of the game. Unofficial score before the officials will do anything is Riptide Riots 104, Black Rose 234. Our referees will meet with the scorekeepers and go over the math of the points. And as long as everything looks good, we will call an official final score. We still have MVPs for our teams to do, and we are still going to be pulling the raffle basket. So if you have purchased a raffle ticket, please make sure you stick around. Just give us a few more minutes to get through to the end of the game, and we will pull these winning tickets. Per Oxide and D-Rex going over with our scorekeepers, making sure the points look good. Rolling whistle brings us to an official score. New England Junior Derby, Riptide Riots 107, Black Rose taking the win, 234. And here comes now our level 3 junior team, Black Rose Rebellion. Here comes Blueberry, Bloody Mary, Sunny. Here's T-Bone, Crow, Wreck-It coming around. There's Beans and Stovey, Jack Sainton, Little Legs, Flying Fish. There's Swiss Rolls. We don't give her any shout-outs anymore. And here's Twig. Now, give it up for our friends from Massachusetts coming here to play us this weekend. New England Junior Roller Derby. Hard-fought game here by both teams. Very amazing defense by both teams. Certainly playing a big role in the outcome of the game. We will see New England back here in June for Northeast Regional Playoffs. That's again June 21st, 22nd in York.